Hello everybody out there and welcome back to another episode of The World's Finest. And in this review I've got 3 DC comics for you guys. Got Batman Arkham Knight Genesis, issue 3 of 6. Batman and Robin Eternal, issue number 3. And Titans Hunt, issue number 1. Now Titans Hunt, issue number 1 I wasn't even expecting to be reviewing, let alone liking. But let's start with Batman Arkham Knight Genesis, issue 3. Let's go with the game book first. Jason goes back to Arkham Asylum to relive what happened to him at the hands of Joker. And we get to see that after Jason went into the building, which we saw in the last issue, Joker ended up kidnapping him, abducting him, strapping him to a chair, and then all the stuff we saw in the video game where Robin was beaten up and brutalized, and then finally came out and said, "Yes, I'm Jason Todd, and what do you think of Batman? I hate him." And then as Joker asks him, "So then tell us what the big secret is, who is Batman?" and then he gets shot, we kind of see what happened afterwards, and we see that, and Jason says, "This is the place where I died and also where I was reborn." So this entire issue was mostly him just reliving what happened to him and what fundamentally changed him and made him become the Arkham Knight. As much as I enjoyed this issue, the artwork was really great too. A lot of it we saw in the game, so I feel like a lot of this was just repeated, but in really nice comic book format. So if you haven't played the game and you're just reading this as a comic book, this is great. You're going to love it. If you played the game, you're going to feel like, hey, I've seen this scene before, and it's going on for several pages, and why are we going through it again? But I thought this was a really great, solid issue. If you have no clue what happened to Jason, it's all shown here. So I like that. I like that they're giving you a full story, even though it's a game. It's in the game. I'm glad that they actually incorporated it into a mini-series for Batman Arkham Knight. So for those of us who don't play the game, not me, I played it, but for those people who don't play the game, they're still getting the full story regardless of if they play the game or not. So that's a huge plus for Arkham Knight Genesis. Now, Batman and Robin Eternal, which I have to find. Give me a second. There we go. We saw Cassandra and Red Hood, Jason, in a scrape or in a scrap at the end of the last issue. This issue opens up with the fight between Jason and Cassandra, and we also find out about what's her name, who is working for Spiral. She takes all the nanites off of her body, the flesh-eating nanites. If you've been reading Grayson, you'll understand what they are. Personally, I had to look it up, but anyway, she eats them so that they won't kill her, because her stomach acid basically destroys them. But one somehow survives, and that's how Dick is able to, or Spiral's able to trace where she's at and what calls she's been making. So at the Batcave, though, after Red Hood brings Cassandra in, because Dick actually shows up to stop Red Hood from, killing Cassandra. He's like, "She's on our side, dude. Relax. She's not here to kill you. She's here to protect you." They all go back to the Batcave. Dick explains everything that's been going on. Harper gets stitched up. They try to get some more info out of Cassandra. We all know Cassandra's mute, so she doesn't really say anything. But we do get another flashback about the effects the fear gas had on Dick. And obviously the fear gas showed something to Batman, but we don't know what yet. And we find out that Mother was using... It might involve Batman, so I don't want to really spoil it, but the people that were working for Mother, the children, they were... How did Jason Todd say it? Jason said it best. Mother's some kind of human... She's a child human trafficker, and Red Hood makes an assumption like, oh, so people can bring kids into child soldiers, and they all look at each other like, wait, didn't Bruce do that with us in a way? So now it kind of questions, did Batman do that with Dick or the other boys that were Robin? And obviously it's going to be no. I mean, you got to know that it's probably going to be no, but still, that questioning leaves you wondering. And you have Dick racing off to find out what's going on with the other agent, and then we find out that the other agent, there's a phone call that was made to a place where Bruce is being celebrated, and the main target is Bruce. So now Dick's out on his way to try to save Bruce. Will he get there in time? Obviously, we know Bruce isn't going to die. So, yes, he's going to get there in time. But what's going to happen? What's going to transpire in the next issue? The momentum, the strength of this story is really holding tight. I'm loving Batman and Robin Eternal. I know I spoke bad on a lot of the weeklies the last time around, but this time DC's doing it right. Only one weekly, and it's not even a full year's worth, and it's a really strong story, and I'm liking that. Finally, we have a number 1, and this is probably going to be the thumb for this video, and that's Titans Hunt issue number 1. Thank you, Nick, for mentioning that this was a cover used for Justice League. The issue, I believe it was issue 100, you said. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments below. But it was a JLA cover. It was to pay homage to the JLA. This is a mini-series, and Brant actually recommended me to read this. At first I wasn't going to because I felt, why would Titans Hunt happen now? Because Donna's got her own thing with Wonder Woman going on, and there's no Aqualad yet, and Roy's with Red Hood. So what's going on? And we find out in this issue. Now, I don't want to spoil too much because this is where things are getting really interesting. But Roy and the other Titans are questioning having these memories, or Roy at least is saying, why does that tower, and it looks like Titan's Tower, why does this bring up a memory but I can't put my finger on it? And then you've got Aqualad that shows up here, Garth, and he interrupts one of Dick's missions for Spiral, and he questions, he's questioning, like, why does this seem familiar? Something's up. You get to see, I don't know if that's Donna from the pre-New 52, or if it is Donna from the, from Wonder Woman, and this just takes place at a different time in the new DC universe. But we've got a lot of the Titans having these little questions and memories. And then, spoiler alert, here, Lilith shows up. If you know Titans at all, you know who Lilith is. I had to actually look it up. Look it up if you don't. And she starts telling Dick that you need to remember, you need to bring them, you need to find me and you need to find the rest of them and bring them together. But for what? And we find out in the end that Lilith is actually a psychologist, and she's talking to somebody who's apparently targeting the old Titans as well. And she's like, you're not going to get, I won't let you get the Titans. You can't have them from this world. And you see all of the original Teen Titans, Donna, Dick, Cyborg, Roy, Lilith, Aqualad, and Cave Boy, all in this homage at the end. And I love how, I think Cave Boy was actually the one that was in the liquor store, and he's talking to Roy, and Roy drops something and grabs it really quickly, and he's like, you're Speedy. And he's like, what did you say? He said, you're Speedy. You did that. You were able to grab that really quick. And he's like, oh, yeah. And he's starting to question that name. And it's like, oh, I see what they're doing with this series. So apparently something's going on in the new DC universe between Superman, Lois, and Clark, and now Titans Hunt. Something is going on. And I guess we were sort of right. Aspects of the old DC universe are being dragged into the new DC universe, and the question is, what's happening? What are we going to? What do we have to expect in the coming years or year? Now that some of the old stuff from the old DC universe that's gone forever, as they say in Lois and Clark, what is exactly going on in the new DC universe now? And that's what's making me go, could we possibly be going back to the old DC universe? Could the new DC universe somehow be altering back into the old DC universe? Time travel, crisis that isn't called crisis, because we all know that they swore they'd never use the word crisis again. I don't know, but I'm very interested in finding out. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are. I am definitely hooked on Titans Hunt all the way to the end after this issue. Thank you, Brant, for recommending it, and I'm definitely going to continue it. And with that, that's it for this review. Let me know what you thought of any of these books in the comments below. I know a lot of you guys are reading Batman and Robin Eternal. I know a lot of you guys are reading Titans Hunt. These books were great this week, and of course also Batman Arkham Knight Genesis. If you're a fan of the game, you'll be loving that book as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Likes, dislikes, whether you agree with my points, disagree. If I said something stupid, if I missed something, feel free to let me know and correct me in the comments below as well. That's what the comments are for. And, you know, we're all not perfect. I'm sure I messed something up somewhere in one of my reviews, if not more than one of my reviews. So, be good to hear from you guys. That's where we communicate right now while I'm trying to get the live shows to work again. Also, while you're down there, there's a bunch of links connected to stuff right here on Dark Avenger C86, comicfrontline.com, zone4podcast.com, frontlinegamingzone.com. Check them out at your leisure. We got lots of stuff going on all of those sites and all the things connected right here as well. Till then, guys, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and I'll see you guys really soon in the next video.